What if the very foods you've been told to eat for your health were quietly working against you? Imagine sitting down for a meal, believing you were making the right choice, when in reality, certain healthy foods are slowly interfering with your testosterone, circulation, and prostate function. For many men after 60, this shows up as fatigue that lingers no matter how much you rest, a decline in drive that feels hard to explain, or changes in performance that leave you questioning if this is simply the price of aging. But here is the truth. It is not just age. Some foods contain compounds that can mimic estrogen, block essential minerals, or inflame your blood vessels, setting the stage for problems that seem inevitable but are not. This isn't about fear. It's about awareness. Once you understand the hidden effects of certain foods, you can make small, strategic changes that bring back strength, energy, and balance. In this video, I will share 3 common foods men over 60 should think twice about, and I'll also show you the natural alternatives that support testosterone, protect your prostate, and restore vitality. If this message speaks to something you've been quietly living with, I invite you to stay with me until the end, because what you'll hear today might bring the relief you've been hoping for. And before we dive in, I'd be honored if you'd take a moment to subscribe to this channel, leave a like if this message resonates with your journey, and share it with someone you care about, maybe a friend from church, a longtime neighbor, someone from your walking group, or even your brother or sister. And in the comments, please tell us where you're watching from and your age. You'll see you're not alone. This is a space of care, and your story matters. When most men notice changes in energy, drive, or performance after 60, they often blame age. Yet biology reveals a more specific story. As the years pass, testosterone naturally declines at about 1% to 2% per year, but that alone is not enough to explain the sudden fatigue, weaker circulation, or prostate discomfort so many experience. What often goes unnoticed is how diet interacts with the body's delicate systems. Certain foods can mimic estrogen, shift hormone ratios, inflame blood vessels, or block minerals that are essential for male health. These silent disruptions build up slowly, like a current moving beneath the surface. Your body is not failing. It is adjusting to constant inputs, and when those inputs are out of rhythm, the signals of vitality become muted. Hormones lose balance, circulation loses its ease, the prostate begins to feel burdened, and energy no longer flows as freely as it once did. The problem is not your willpower, your masculinity, or even simply your age. The real challenge is that no one ever told you how certain common foods could nudge your biology in the wrong direction. Once you see that clearly, you can release the guilt and understand that it is not a personal weakness, it is a biological chain reaction, one that can be interrupted and reversed with awareness and the right choices. Everyday choices, often made with the best intentions, can quietly work against men's health after 60. Imagine the man who switches from steak and eggs to soy milk and tofu, believing he is protecting his heart. Or the one who replaces butter with margarine made from corn oil, convinced it is a lighter option. Another begins each day with a large green smoothie packed with raw spinach, feeling proud of his discipline. Each decision seems wise on the surface, but together they can form a pattern that drains energy, disrupts hormones, and slowly reduces vitality. Soy is a perfect example. Its compounds known as phytoestrogens look enough like estrogen that they can interact with the body's hormone receptors. For men already experiencing natural testosterone decline, this extra push toward estrogen can feel like adding weights to a scale that is already tipping. The intention is good, yet the outcome is imbalance. Corn oil and the endless derivatives of processed corn tell a similar story. They load the body with omega-6 fatty acids, throwing off the natural balance with omega-3s. Over time, this imbalance fuels inflammation, stiffens blood vessels, and makes circulation less efficient, all of which can affect energy, prostate comfort, and even erectile strength. Raw spinach carries its own hidden challenge. While celebrated for its nutrients, it also contains oxalates that bind to zinc, a mineral essential for testosterone and prostate health. When consumed raw in large amounts, the body absorbs less zinc, leaving men vulnerable to deficiencies that directly impact vitality. None of these choices are made carelessly. They are made with trust, following common advice or popular trends. But when combined with long nights in front of screens, late dinners, skipped hydration, and the silent stress of daily worries, the biological burden grows heavier. These mistakes are not obvious, and they are certainly not your fault. They are the quiet daily patterns that slowly accumulate, but the good news is that once you recognize them, they can be reversed. Awareness opens the door to renewal. Long before modern science tried to explain hormones, circulation, or prostate health, ancient traditions already understood that men's vitality depends on rhythm and balance. In Ayurvedic and Taoist practices, food and intimacy were seen not as battles to be fought, but as flows to be respected. These traditions remind us that small, natural shifts can unlock profound strength. One forgotten key lies in how we prepare and combine our foods. Take spinach, for example. When gently cooked instead of consumed raw, oxalates break down, freeing minerals like zinc and magnesium to be absorbed fully. A simple adjustment transforms it from a nutrient trap into a genuine ally for male health. Another powerful yet overlooked solution is restoring the balance of fats in the diet. Where corn oil inflames, foods rich in omega-3s calm. Fatty fish like salmon, sardines, or even a handful of walnuts help bring the ratio back into harmony, lowering inflammation and supporting healthy blood flow. This balance is crucial for cardiovascular strength and erectile performance. In the same way, replacing processed soy with smaller amounts of traditional fermented soy, or choosing protein sources like eggs, legumes, or lean meats, can reduce the hormonal disruption caused by high phytoestrogen intake. But food is only part of the story. Breath and presence also shape the body's response. Slow, deep breathing before meals and moments of calm during the day activate the parasympathetic nervous system, the branch that allows relaxation, digestion, and arousal to flourish. Even something as simple as taking a mindful walk, drinking warm herbal tea, or sharing meals in good company reduces the silent tension that blocks circulation and drains vitality. These practices are not complicated or expensive. They are traditions our ancestors lived by, rooted in patience and observation of nature. When men embrace these forgotten solutions, cooking wisely, restoring balance, and slowing down, they discover that strength does not fade with age. Instead, it is renewed through rhythm, awareness, and small acts of respect for the body's natural design. There was a man in his mid-60s who carried a quiet frustration. He had always believed he was doing everything right for his health. He swapped red meat for soy, cooked with margarine instead of butter, and filled his mornings with green smoothies loaded with raw spinach. On paper, it looked like the perfect routine. Yet with every year that passed, he noticed his energy fading.
Fatigue became his daily companion. His performance no longer matched his intentions, and a heaviness grew in moments of intimacy. He assumed it was simply the cost of aging, something inevitable that no one could escape. One day, after hearing that small changes could make a difference, he decided to experiment. Instead of filling his blender with raw spinach, he began lightly steaming it before adding it to meals. He replaced corn oil with olive oil, and when he wanted something crunchy, he chose walnuts over processed snacks. He reduced his reliance on soy, leaning instead on eggs, lentils, and occasional fish. These choices seemed almost insignificant at first, but within weeks, he felt a subtle shift. His energy no longer drained so quickly in the afternoons. His mind felt sharper, and he noticed a new ease in his body. The most surprising change came in his confidence. With better circulation and restored vitality, moments with his partner felt alive again. She saw it too, the way his eyes lit up, the steadiness in his touch, the patience that replaced his rushing. What once felt like a wall of silence in their intimacy became a flow of connection, laughter, and warmth. The tension he had carried, that sense of decline he thought was permanent, began to dissolve. His story is not unique. It is proof that the body is not broken with age. It only asks for rhythm, attention, and the right kind of nourishment. For him, the forgotten solutions were not about radical diets or miracle cures, but about remembering balance. And in remembering, he found renewal. Growing older does not mean surrendering vitality. What many men mistake for inevitable decline is often the result of habits and foods that quietly work against the body. The truth is, your strength, circulation, and confidence are not gone. They are simply waiting for the right conditions to be awakened again. The body is wise, and even after 60, it responds with gratitude when given the support it needs. Cooking foods that are easier to absorb, choosing oils that reduce inflammation instead of feeding it, and remembering the role of essential minerals can change the course of each day more than most realize. This is not about chasing youth or fearing age. It is about honoring the body you have now with patience and respect. When you see energy return, when focus sharpens, and when moments of intimacy feel alive again, you understand that aging is not an ending. It is a stage where depth, presence, and balance matter more than speed or excess. Small adjustments create profound shifts, and these shifts restore confidence, hope, and connection. If you have felt frustration, know it is not your fault. The silence around these truths has left many men in confusion, but the answers are not hidden in complicated solutions. They are in remembering the natural rhythms that sustain vitality at every stage of life. If this message touched something in you, thank you for staying until the end. Many men silently carry doubts about their health, their energy, and their performance, believing the decline is inevitable. But the truth is far more hopeful. Your body is not broken. It simply needs the right rhythm, the right choices, and the right care to remember its strength. Small steps, like choosing the foods that truly support your hormones and circulation, can create transformations greater than you imagine. If you found value here, I invite you to subscribe to this channel. Each subscription is a sign of support that allows us to continue bringing honest, science-based conversations about aging, vitality, and intimacy. Please also leave a like if this resonates with your journey, and share this video with someone close to you. Maybe a brother, a longtime friend, someone from your church group, or even your walking partner. You never know who might be quietly needing this reminder today.
And in the comments, I would love to hear from you. Have you ever noticed how certain foods or habits changed the way you felt? What adjustments made a difference for you? What questions are still on your mind about health and aging? Your story matters here, and by sharing it, you help create a space of trust and renewal for men everywhere. Together, we remind each other that age is not the end of strength. It is the beginning of a deeper wisdom.